One man on an island, one drop in the sea. All it takes to set a wave in motion is a single word in action, a hope that we can be the change that we've been longing to see. For our home, our land, our family, it's all within our reach. See this island, every grain of sand. Hear this anthem, it's the voices of our friends. Come whatever, on the road ahead. We did it before, and we'll do it again.
When the moments turn to hours and the day's last light is gone, look around us always and remember, there were times we were uncertain, but we just kept walking on. It's always darkest just before the dawn. See this island, every grain of sand. Hear this anthem, it's the voices of our friends. Come whatever, on the road ahead. We did it before, and we'll do it again.
Our home, the home we share, where the garden always grows to earth and light. Though the road ahead is daunting, I know we're gonna be alright.
See this island, every grain of sand. Hear this anthem, it's the voices of our friends. Come whatever, on the road ahead. We did it before, and we'll do it again.
See this island, every grain of sand. Hear this anthem,
It's the voices of our friends.
come whatever, on the road ahead.
We did it before, and we'll do it again.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Basic Yoga Flow. My name's Pam. Hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday afternoon so far. Okay, we're going to get moving very, very soon. But before we do so, okay, please just stand by your usual props. A towel will be good today, as we will be working on some hamstring poses. And also 2 blocks if you know you're a little bit tighter in your hamstrings. Okay, so if you don't have blocks, you could always replace them with 2 thick books or maybe 2 water bottles of roughly the same height. And if you don't have a towel, you can use a strap, a tie, anything, something long that you can probably loop around your foot with. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So just find a comfortable seat on your mat. If you wish, you could also sit on a block, so elevate your hips. Just resting your palms on your knees. You could be facing upwards or down. Roll shoulders back away from your ears and softly close your eyes. Okay, keeping the space between your eyebrows soft and your jaw relaxed. We'll just be sitting quietly for a couple of minutes to just allow your body to settle in. You're observing your breath flowing in and out through your nose. And maybe just practice same count breathing. So you could be taking 5 or 6 seconds to inhale and take the same amount of time to exhale. And also using this time to let go of any thoughts and any distractions. And try your very best to be both physically and mentally present on your mat in the next 45 minutes. Nice, a couple more rounds here with eyes still closed. Nice, so on your next inhalation, blink open your eyes very gently. Okay, with eyes open, okay, let's continue with the seated side bend. Okay, so just walking the right hand out towards your right side. Stretch your left arm overhead. Okay, so you think about reaching through your left fingertips. Roll left shoulder back. Soften that right shoulder away from right ear. Now you can either stay here or maybe lower your right forearm down to the floor. Okay, as you're doing so, just make sure your left hip stays down. You're not lifting your bum off. Okay, so grounding down through your left sitting bone. Nice. Now roll armpit back. Either look forward, upwards, or down. Okay, inhale, come back up to center. Other side. Okay, walking the left hand out to the left. Stretch your right arm overhead. Okay, so reaching through your fingertips. Lengthen. Nice, and right armpit back. Left armpit forward. Maybe even lowering the left forearm down to the mat completely. Okay, if you can't touch the mat, it's okay, just hover your elbow. Inhale, back up to center. Nicely done. Okay, cross at your ankles, come onto all fours, so you're on your hands and knees. Okay, so stacking shoulders on top of your wrists, knees in line with your hips. Okay, spreading the fingers wide comfortably. On your next inhale, tilt your tailbone upwards, arch your back, draw shoulder blades closer together, look forward or look up. Okay, this is your cow pose. On exhale, round your back, press the floor away, chin to your chest as you lengthen your tailbone downwards. Okay, 3 more. Inhale, arch your back. Take your tailbone upwards, shoulders away from ears. And exhale, round. Press the floor away, chin to your chest. Nice, now 2 more again. Just moving with your breath. Inhale, arch your back. Lift your tailbone, shoulders away from ears. And exhale, round. Press the floor away, chin to your chest. Okay, last set. Inhale, again, arch your back. Tailbone lifts, shoulders away from ears. And on your exhale, round, press the floor away, chin to your chest. Coming back to neutral spine. Okay, as you come to neutral spine, thread a needle. So you're going to keep your left hand on the mat. Stretch your right hand up towards the ceiling on your inhale. And exhale, thread your right arm underneath your left. Okay, so you're reaching your right hand towards the left side of the room. Okay, resting your right cheek or ear on the floor. If for whatever reason the face isn't comfortably resting on the mat, you can always use a block. Okay, place it underneath your cheek so your head is supported. Nice, now once you're here, okay, so still keep your hips in line with your knees. Option 1, you can keep your left fingers on the mat close to your face. Option 2, walk your left hand forward. Okay, you might want to stay on your finger pads. Option 3, a bind. Okay, you're going to wrap your left hand around your back. Okay, so you could be holding on to your right hip or inner thigh. Nice, now spin that left shoulder back. So you're twisting towards the left side and gently pressing that right up arm down into the floor. Nice, and release your bind, or just walk your left hand back if it's stretched to the front. Place your left hand on the mat close to your face. Push yourself back up as you stretch the right hand up towards the ceiling again. And slowly release, lower your right hand down. Okay, so same thing on the other side. Stretch your left hand up, inhale. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath your right. Okay, so scooping it under. Reaching the left hand towards the right side edge of the mat. Resting again could be your temple, it could be your cheek, it could be your ear. Now, option 1, right fingers on the mat close to your face. 2, walk it forward. 3, take a half bind. Okay, so right arm goes around the back if you're in a half bind. So spin that right shoulder back. Pressing the floor away with your left upper arm. Okay, so still keep your neck relaxed, neck long. Nice, and release your bind. Or walk your right hand back. Hand on the mat, close to your face. Push yourself back up. Stretch your left hand up on your inhale, reach it up. And exhale, release. Lower your left hand down to the floor. From here, finding your plank position. Okay, so you're going to stack shoulders on top of your wrists. Straight legs. Again, grip the mat. And just looking at your own fingers. So try to point your index fingers to the front. Nice. Now, from here, lift the hips back up as you find your first downward facing dog. Okay, so with your feet hip width and hands shoulder width, you can just start to move here in any way that you like. Okay, so it could be bending your knees one at a time as you straighten your other leg, pressing the heel down into the floor. Could also be lifting both your heels as you lower them down to the right and come back to center and heels down to the left. Nice, okay, so your hands, you're pressing the floor away, pushing into the mat, lifting the hips high. So if you have tighter hamstrings and your down dog looks like this, you're rounded. Okay, so the option is to bend your knees. Think about lengthening through your spine now. Don't worry about straightening the legs. Don't worry about grounding your heels. Nice, and once you're done adjusting in down dog, please find stillness. From down dog, let's all shift forward to plank. Okay, so coming back to your high push-up position. From plank pose, drop both your knees down to the floor. Slowly lower your whole body all the way down. Okay, so as you lower down, you think about shifting chest forward, bend your elbows slowly, and lie down flat on your belly. Once you're here, point your toes back. Hands on the mat next to your chest, rolling up into a baby cobra. Shoulders away from ears, inhale to lift. As you lift your chest, press down through your thighs, press down through the top parts of your feet, hug elbows in towards the midline. Nice, now slowly push it back. Downward facing dog. Okay, go back to your inverted V. From down dog, inhale, let's lift right leg up. Three-legged dog, straight leg. Okay, so squaring off your hips, squeeze your inner thighs together. Look forward at your hands. You're going to step your right foot forward, softly. Again, if the foot doesn't come forward all the way, maybe stuck in the middle, just pick your right foot up with your right hand and shift the foot forward. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Anjaneyasana. Palms can press into your right thigh. Lift your chest up. Okay, so hips are squaring forward again. Hug inner thighs together. Nice, and descend your hips. Now you can choose to stay here, option 1. Option 2, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so if you're new to my class, I'll be giving options along the way. So take whatever option that suits you. It doesn't always have to be the final one. Nice, I'll lower your hands down to the floor. Half split. Can you straighten that right leg as you shift the hips back? Okay, so you're keeping that left thigh vertical. You're not sitting back on your left heel. Okay, and uncrumple the mat. Okay, so flex your front foot, square off your hips. Take a breath here, inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Okay, so think about tipping forward from your hips, reaching the chest forward. So some of you, maybe the hands can't touch the mat. So this is where you'll grab your blocks or books or even your water bottles, place them on either side of your right leg. Okay, so a little bit of support there. Think about driving down to your right heel. Nice, spread your toes. Maybe you're here, maybe you're here. Just stay and breathe. Nice, now inhale, look forward halfway. Okay, rebend your right knee to ground your foot. If you're using blocks, just place them aside for now. Setting up our down dog lunge. Okay, so just entering this pose step by step. First, you shift that right foot maybe about 1 inch to your right. Can you now lift that left knee? to ground your back foot. Okay, so left foot is flat, firmly grounded on the mat. Right knee is pointing forward. Can you walk both your hands towards the top left corner of the mat? Okay, so walking towards the left. Nice. Now think about a down dog upper body. Okay, so you're not in a flat back, you're not plank. Pressing the floor away through all 10 finger pads here. Right knee is pointing forward. Okay, so notice the knee will want to move along with your upper body. So keep that thigh away from you. Press the floor away. Nice, grounding down through your left foot. Nice, okay, just holding in. Just easy breaths through your nose. Nice, and coming back to center. Walk your hands back. Slowly stepping back into a plank pose. Right leg back. Take your time, adjust your plank. Once you're back in plank, knees down to the floor. So repeating what we did earlier in that vinyasa. As you shift the chest forward, slowly lower down. Okay, so you're not flopping down, you're just lowering down with control. Lie flat on your belly. Point your toes back. Hands on the mat next to your chest. We're going to roll up into a cobra now. Okay, maybe a higher cobra. If this is too much for you, go lower like what we did in the first round. Micro bend your elbows if you're in a higher cobra. Chest forwards and upwards. Press down through your thighs. Nice, and lift your hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Okay, so again with your feet hip width, hands shoulder width. Grip the mat. Lift your forearms. Press the floor with your palms. Okay, so that was one side, right side. Let's do everything on your left now. Stretching your left leg up on your inhale, three-legged dog. Look forward at your hands. Slowly step your left foot forward. Okay, one big step forward. Adjust your foot if necessary. Lower the right knee down to the floor. Anjaneyasana. Okay, so your hands, you can press into your left thigh. Lift your chest. So anytime you need, you're welcome to pat your right knee. Okay, so hips squaring forward. Descend your hips. Continue to stay here, option, or maybe stretch both your arms up towards the ceiling. Again, so hug inner thighs together. Descend your hips, lengthening your upper body upwards. Exhale, lower your hands onto the floor. Half split, straightening your left leg. Again, so you're shifting the hips back, but still making sure both your hip bones are facing forward evenly. Okay, so your left hip isn't sticking out to the side like that. Use the blocks if you need, if your hands don't quite touch the mat. Okay, so those who are using blocks at home, you can just experiment 3 heights. There are 3 heights to a block. See which height suits your pose at this present moment. Okay, so flex the front foot, square off your hips, nice long spine, inhale, and exhale, fold. Okay, so as you're folding again, you're not rounding. Think about reaching your chest forwards, maybe belly to your thigh. Maybe, just maybe. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Rebend your knee to ground your foot. Okay, again, just move the blocks away for now. Shifting, left foot just a tiny bit to your left. So you still try to keep your foot parallel to the long side edge of the mat. Lift the right knee, ground your back foot. Okay, so moving into your down dog lunge. Again, so your left knee is pointing forward. It's not moving along with your upper body. Walk your hands towards the top right corner of the mat. Okay, so think again, down dog, upper body, not a flat back. You're pressing the floor away through 10 finger pads here. Left thigh away from your left rib. Squeeze your left hip back towards your right foot. Okay, so your right foot is firm on the floor. Next, now walk your hands back to the center. Coming out of the pose slowly, let's step your left foot back into a plank. As you come back to plank, knees down again. Let's repeat that vinyasa, shifting the chest forward. Bend your elbows. So elbows are pointing backwards, not flaring out to the side. Slowly lower your whole body all the way down. Point your toes back. Cobra, get your shoulders away from ears. Slowly roll up. So as you come into cobra, micro bend your elbows, chest lifting forwards and upwards. Keep your ribs and belly in, push down through your thighs. And lift your hips, press back, down dog. Okay, so staying for a moment in down dog. Okay, so use this time now to just check in with your breath. Again, grip the floor, push into the mat. Okay, keep your forearms lifted so you're not collapsing in down dog. Upper back broad. And lift your hips high. Nice, let's move along. Right leg lifts again to three-legged dog. Exhale, look forward at your hands. Step the right foot forward softly, slowly. Okay, Moving into your high lunge, so you're going to keep your back heel up. Feet hip width distance at this point. Push down through your feet. Okay, for starters, you can just bring your hands to your hips. Slowly rise up. Okay, so once you're upright, okay, just check. Is your right heel line up with right hip, left heel with left hip? Bend into your front knee more, keeping your ribs and belly in. Once you're stable, stretch both your arms up. Nice. Okay, so you can lengthen upper body upwards. Bend your front knee more. If you can, you keep your right knee to a square. Okay, so knee directly on top of ankle. From here now, hands to heart center prayer. Inhale, lean forward slightly. So think about lengthening through your spine. Exhale, we're going to twist across to your right side. Okay, so hooking that left elbow outside of your right knee. Okay, if you can, try to straighten that back leg. If you need a little break, well, you're welcome to just lower your left knee down for a moment. Okay, otherwise keep that back leg straight. So left elbow presses into your right thigh. Nice, twisting towards your right. As you twist again, you want to keep your ribs and belly in. Slowly untwist, come back up to high lunge. From high lunge, hands to hips. Pyramid pose, okay, so we need to now shorten that distance between your feet slightly. So left foot, just step forward half a foot. Not too narrow, you still have about 3 to 4 feet distance between your legs. Both your legs are straight, square hips to the front. Okay, so left foot is flat, and again, you want to angle that foot about 45 degrees to the front. Adding on from here, reaching your arms back. For today, can you bend into your elbows and hold opposite elbows, okay? So back view, just hold opposite elbows like that. Nice, okay? So hips facing forward. Front of your shoulder hits back. Nice, now take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Just you're folding over your right leg. Again, maybe belly to your thigh. If you're not anywhere near there, you might be here. It's okay, just hold. Again, as you stay here, so same thing. Lift the front of your shoulders back. Nice, hips are square. Squeezing the thighs together. And notice that you're not hyperextending your right knee. Okay, so keep your right knee soft. Don't lock it. Think about crumpling that mat between your feet now. Next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Okay, you're going to try to transition into a balancing pose from here. With your hands now, just hold your hips. Slowly, so look forward. Shifting the weight more to your right foot. Hollow the belly. Pick up your left foot. Can you now float that left leg? Capital letter T shape. Okay, this might be a little bit tricky, so take your time. If you fall out, just come back. Now left hip down. Squeeze inner thighs together. Once you're here, you can remain hands on hips or bring your hands to heart center. Nice. Okay, so feel as though you're kicking someone behind with your left foot as you extend all the way to the crown of your head. Nice. Now slowly release. Step your left foot next to your right. Chair pose. Bend your knees. Sit your hips back. Okay, so knees behind toes. Nice neutral pelvis here. Still continue to keep ribs and belly in. Straightening your legs. Continue to lengthen your arms upwards. Okay, so you're still at the top edge of the mat. I'm just going to turn around to face you. With your feet hip width distance, if it's not already there. Holding onto your right forearm. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you're going to side bend towards your left. Okay, so side bending towards your left. Keep your right armpit back. Left armpit forward. If you're comfortable, feel free to look up, not just look to the front, or maybe even look down. Nice, now inhale back to center. Other side, okay? So switch the hands, holding on to left forearm now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend towards your right. Okay, so from the front, looks like that. So left armpit back, right armpit forward, ribs and belly in. Equal weight distribution on both feet now. Okay, inhale back to center. Exhale, release your hands, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Okay, so you're welcome to softly bend your knees. Now inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Again, flat back, fingers could be on the mat, maybe fingers on your shins. Exhale, fold forwards completely, belly closer to your thighs. Hands on the mat now beside your feet. Step, left leg back. Okay, so take a huge step back. Ground your back foot. Okay, setting up our warrior one leg. So again, you turn your left foot about 45, 60 degrees to the front. Press down through your feet. Slowly rise back up. Okay, so warrior one. You're going to bend into your right knee more. grounding down through the outer edge of your left foot, hips pointing to the front. Nice. Okay, so some variations, your hands can remain shoulder width apart like I'm doing. Some of you can choose to bring your palms together, maybe even interlacing your fingers as you extend your index finger and stretch up. From warrior one to humble warrior. Okay, so you're going to interlace the hands behind your back now. If you can, you interlace your hands. If it's too much for your shoulders, take your strap or towel and hold on to the strap or towel this way. Otherwise, interlacing the fingers, bringing the palms together, shoulders away from ears. Take an inhale now as you lift your chest. Exhale, bow forwards. So it's quite similar to down dog lunge if you can recall that pose we did at the start of the class. Okay, so you're folding inside of your right leg. Think about bringing the crown of your head to the floor. Well, at least that's the general direction. Whether or not it touches doesn't matter. Okay, so just keep folding forwards inside of your right thigh, maybe touching the mat. Now with your hands behind your back, again, shoulders away from ears, squeeze your elbows energetically together and start to reach your knuckles overhead, maybe towards the front of the room. Okay, so again, as you stay here, your right knee is tracking second toe. Squeeze your right hip back towards your left foot. It's not an easy pose to hold. Okay, again, if you notice that you're not breathing anymore, if you're holding your breath, just come back to your breath. Nice, easy pace. Nice, now look forward halfway, so just stay low. You're going to release both your hands down to the floor, inside of your right foot. Spin the back heel up, lower your left knee down. Okay, so left knee on the mat, lizard pose. Option one is stay here, so you're on your palms. Option two, use your blocks. Lower your elbows down to blocks. Okay, so you can use one block or two blocks, maybe one block per arm. Option three, maybe elbows can be on the mat directly. Again, it doesn't always have to be the final option. Just take an option that suits your practice. Try to line up your elbows with the arch of your right foot. Okay, and squeezing the right knee in towards your right shoulder and keeping that front shin vertical. Okay, so your knee is directly stacked on top of your ankle. You can choose to stay here, left knee on the mat. That's option one. Option two, tuck your back toes to straighten your left leg. Okay, so in your lizard, again, your hips are level. You're not collapsing onto your left hip this way. Nice, lengthening through your spine. Maybe just gazing softly at the space between your thumbs. Those who are on your forearms, come back up onto your palms first. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Okay, you're going to take a nice, easy transition to side plank from here. Okay, so starting from easiest option to a little bit more challenging. Right hand holds right hip. Left foot is going to spin that left foot out towards the left side edge of the mat. With your right leg, you're going to step it back this way. Okay, so we did side plank, I think, a few weeks before. Okay, so just try to line up your left wrist with left knee and right foot. Okay, and left wrist just a little bit in front of your left shoulder. Once you're steady, stretch your right hand up. Okay, so this is your easiest option of side plank. Okay, let me just turn around so you can see what's going on in my leg. Option one, you stay here. Option two, a little bit more challenging. Bring your right foot to the middle. So try to line up that knee with your hip and right toes. They're all in the same direction. With your left leg now, you're going to straighten your left leg. Yeah, extend that left leg to the back and balance on the little toe side of your left foot. Okay, so it's a knife edge side. You're not just on your tippy toes, knife edge side of your left foot. So this is option two. Option three, some of you might be able to step your right foot back. Okay, so your foot could be on top, maybe in front. Nice, so squeeze inner thighs together. Again, you're still breathing. Press the floor away through your left palm. Left shoulder away from left ear. Lift your hips. From side plank, lower your right hand down to the floor, plank pose. Okay, so you guessed it. From plank, we're going to take your knees onto the mat. Shifting the chest forward. Shoulders away from ears. Start to bend at your elbows and lower your whole body all the way down. Point your toes back. Shoulders away from ears. Inhale to lift. Okay, coming to your cobra. Get micro bend your elbows. Press onto your thighs. Lifting the chest forwards and upwards. And lift your hips back and up. Coming back. Downward facing dog. Nice, okay? So if you can, find stillness in down dog. Use this time to just reset and recenter before we move on to the other side, the second side. Once you're ready, lift left leg up on inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, look forward with your hands. Step your left foot forward softly. Nice. Okay, so if you need to adjust, just pick up your left ankle and walk the foot forward. Stay high on your back foot. Okay, so high heel right foot. Hands to hips. Slowly press down through your left foot and through the ball of your right foot. Lift your chest up. Okay, so hips are squaring forward. Take your time. And you now stretch both your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so front knee bend. Power through that right leg. Ribs and belly in. Nice. Nice. Now hands to heart center prayer. Inhale now. Lean forward slightly. Exhale, you're going to twist across to the left. Okay, so hooking right elbow outside of your left knee. Lifting that lower belly away from your thigh. Okay, so hands are at your heart center. Thumbs close to your chest. Left shoulder back. Nice. Okay, so there's resistance here. Your right elbow is pressing into your left leg. Release your twist. Come back up. High lunge, slowly. Hands to hips, pyramid pose. Okay, so just shortening the distance between your feet slightly. Right foot, half a foot forward. Ground your back foot, square hips to the front. Feet still remain hip width. Okay, so it's not a heel to heel situation here. Square hips to the front. Once you're ready again, so just reach your arms back. Hold opposite elbows. Okay, so you can maybe do the same option or do the awkward way. Nice, now square hips to the front, inhale, and exhale, fold forwards. So you're folding over your left leg, tipping forward from your hips. Okay, so left hip might want to shift towards the left. Can you square off your hips more? So take your left hip back. Right foot stays flat on the floor, lifting the front of your shoulders. Nice, spread your left toes. Again, feel as though you want to crumple the mat between your feet. Nice, now inhale, halfway lift, flat back, slowly. Again, hollow the belly. Hold your hips with both hands, getting ready for warrior three. Shifting the weight forward now to your left foot. Pick up your right leg and lift your right leg. Capital letter T. Okay, so squeeze in the thighs together. So your right kneecap is pointing downwards. You're still keeping your core tight, ribs in. Hands can remain here, maybe hands at your heart center. Nice. Now step your right foot next to your left. Warrior three is a tough pose. Okay, chair pose. Bend your knees. Sit your hips back. Okay, so knees behind toes. Knees and second toes in line. Let's straighten your legs. Continue to stretch your arms towards the ceiling. With your feet hip width distance. Again, you don't have to move. I'm just turning around to face you. Starting with your left side now. Holding onto your left forearm with your right hand. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, side bend towards your right. Okay, so again, so you're side bending towards your right. Pivot, left armpit back, right armpit forward. Nice, okay, maybe you can go a little bit deeper on this second round. Inhale, center, switch sides. Holding onto your right forearm, lengthen on your inhale. Exhale, side bend towards the left now. Again, so right armpit back, left armpit forward, ribs and belly in, even weight distribution on your legs, okay? Inhale, back to center. Release your hands, fold forwards, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Again, fingers could be on your mat, fingers maybe on your shins. Exhale, fold closer to your thighs. Bend your knees, ground your palms, step your right leg back. Big step back. Warrior one, right leg. So right foot is flat. Okay, turn your right foot about 45 degrees to the front. Press down through your feet. Slowly rise back up. Stretch your arms up. So it's a little bit different from high lunge if you notice. So right foot is flat now. Left knee points forward. Hips, again, general direction, you want to face your hips forward. It might not be totally square. Reaching your hands up towards the ceiling. Stretch up, lengthen. Nice. Now interlacing your hands behind your back. Humble warrior. Again, if you need to, grab your towel or strap. Shoulders away from ears. Hug elbows in energetically. Inhale, let's lift your chest. A very gentle back bend here. Exhale, fold forwards. So you're folding inside of your left thigh. Again, your general direction, you think about bringing the head closer to the floor. Might not be happening for you today. It's okay, just stay here. Okay, so you're not just resting on your thigh. You're folding inside. Crown of your head closer to the floor. Stretching your knuckles up and over. Nice, and energetically again, hug left hip towards your right foot. And breathe. Nicely done. Now stay low. Release your hands to the floor inside of your left foot. Lower the right knee down to the mat. So you're taking this into lizard. So both your hands are inside of your left foot. You can turn your left toes out slightly. Option 1, you're here, high up on your palms. Option 2, lower down to blocks or lower down to the mat directly. Okay, so you notice the right hip want to sink. Try to keep your hips level. Okay, you can stay with right knee on the mat or lift your right knee. Okay, so hips are even. Left shin vertical. So knees on top of ankle. You can stay here. Just observing any sensations. Okay, probably in the front part of your right thigh. Ground area in your left side. Your left hamstring. Nice. And those who are on your forearms, come back onto your palms slowly. Lower the right knee down to the mat. Okay, so taking this to side plank again, step by step. Left hand holds left hip. Can you now turn the right foot out towards the right side edge of the mat? You're going to extend your left leg towards the back edge of the mat. Okay, so lining up right wrist, right knee, and arch of left foot. Again, I'm going to turn the other way so I can see you. Nice. Ta-da. So right thigh is vertical. Stretch left hand up. Easiest option for side plank. Again, you're welcome to stay here. Don't have to do more. Option 2, if you wish, bring your left foot to the middle. Extend your right leg back. Okay, so you're on the little toe side of your right foot. Okay, so you're not collapsing here. Press into the floor with your right palm. Lift the hips. Stay here, or maybe a little bit more challenging, step your left foot back. So feet together. Maybe one foot in front of the other. Squeeze inner thighs together. Lift your hips. Breathe. Nice, and slowly lower your left hand down to the floor. Plank pose. From plank, knees down, our modified vinyasa. Okay, so you're shifting chest forward, elbows pointing backwards, lower down, slowly. Point your toes back. Cobra, that's your back bend. Shoulders back, inhale to lift. Okay, so sustain cobra again with your hands. You think about pressing to the floor with your hands and dragging your hands back energetically. Broadening through your collarbones. Nice, now lift your hips back. Downward facing dog, go back. Nice, you're gonna be in down dog for a couple of breaths. Okay, so with your fingers spread wide. Again, press into the floor. Lift the hips higher. Again, doesn't matter if your heels are not on the floor. Doesn't matter if your legs aren't straight. Okay, just again, action of stretching through your spine. Lifting up through your hips and down to your heels. Nice, now from down dog, knees down to the floor. Briefly in child's pose. Yay, okay, resting pose. And separate your knees a little bit wider. Bring your big toes to touch. Sit your hips back. Stretch your hands to the front and rest your forehead on the floor. Again, child's pose is a great pose to take in class if you need a little break. And then once you're ready, you can always just join us again in whatever pose we're in. Nice. Now from child's pose, okay, for those of you who need more time here, of course you're welcome to stay. Otherwise, roll back up to a tabletop position. Slowly lie down onto your belly. Okay, so once you're back on your belly, just adjust again with your feet about hip width, toes pointing backwards. Stretch your arms alongside your body. You're going to come into a Shalabhasana locust pose. On your inhale, start to lift your chin, lift your chest. Think about reaching your fingers towards your feet. Okay, and can you lift both legs up? So with your legs, you feel as though you're squeezing a block between your thighs. Spread your toes, hands reaching back. Now just to add on a bit, can you think about turning your palms outwards? Okay, so palms to face the left and right side. Squeezing, shoulder blades closer together. Continue to lift your legs, ribs and belly in. Make sure you're still breathing here. Collarbones broad. Nice, and slowly come back down. Very nice. Now let's take this into a pectoral stretch. Okay, so with your right hand, I'm just going to extend the right hand out towards your right side. Okay, so keeping the wrist the same height as the right shoulder. Left hand is going to be on the mat, close to your chest. Push the floor with your left palm. roll onto the right side. Okay, so you should be resting, just comfortably resting on your right cheek, right ear. So your left hand, you can keep it close to your chest again. You're pressing to the floor away with your left hand. Option 1, you can stay, keeping both your knees bent and stack. Option 2, maybe you can straighten the right leg, so that's your bottom leg. Bend your left knee, point the left knee upwards, maybe ground your left foot onto the floor behind your right. Okay, so just keeping that right shoulder away from right ear. Yeah, it's a nice pectoral stretch. Slowly come back to center. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, once you're back to center, left hand, same thing, stretch it out towards your left side. Okay, let me just come back on screen. Left hand out towards the left side. Right hand on the mat close to your chest. Roll over to the left side. Okay, so again, so option 1, just stay here, don't have to do more. Option 2, maybe straighten the left leg. Bend your right knee. So you're going to ground your right foot to the floor as you lift, as you point that right kneecap upwards. Okay, so keeping your neck relaxed. Nice, now slowly come back to center. Take your time. Once you're back to center, turn yourself around, lie on your back. Okay, once you're on your back, with your knees bent, figure 4, crossing your right ankle on top of your left knee. You're going to flex your right foot, spread your toes. Can you now bring your left thigh close to your chest? Take your right hand through the gap between the legs and either hug your left shin or back of your left thigh. Okay, so you're going to draw that left thigh closer to your chest here, keeping that right thigh away from you. Okay, so it's an external hip rotation. Draw that left thigh closer, right thigh away from you, holding it here and broadening through your collarbones. Nice, now release your hands. You're going to stretch your arms out sideways. Okay, so body kind of looks like a capital letter T shape. Okay, not capital, there's a letter T shape. Crossing that right thigh on top of your left, Garudasana legs, eagle pose. Moving the hips a little bit towards your right side first. Twist, drop your knees down to your left. And looking past your right shoulder. Okay, so right shoulder isn't off the mat. You want to ground down through that right shoulder. And if possible, bring your knees even closer to your chest or belly. Nice, now release your twist slowly. Come back to center. Uncross your legs. Okay, let's repeat that figure 4 on the other side. So crossing left ankle on top of right knee. Flex your foot. Bring that right thigh close to your chest and take the left hand through the gap, hugging your right shin or even the back of your right thigh. Okay, so hug that thigh closer to your body as you keep that external rotation of your left hip. Okay, so left thigh away from your belly. Okay, shoulders down on the floor, collarbones broad. Nice, now release your hands out sideways. Again, letter T shape. Crossing that left thigh on top of your right. Move your hips slightly to your left and twist. Drop your knees down towards the right side. Okay, and looking past your left shoulder. Yeah. If you can, same thing, bring your knees a bit closer to your chest or belly. Nice, now inhale back to center. Uncross your legs. Supta Baddha Konasana, your butterfly supine pose. Okay, so you're going to bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Draw your heels closer to your groin, keeping your knees wide open. Okay, if for whatever reason this is not a comfortable pose for you and you happen to have blocks or maybe a pillow, you can always place them underneath your knees and take a more supported butterfly. Okay, otherwise do them without blocks. So think about keeping knees wide open and just making this pose a bit more active by pressing the heels together, pushing the little toes down into the floor. Now, option 1, you can have your hands on your thighs, like that. Option 2, feel free to stretch your arms overhead and hold on to opposite elbows. Again, so pressing heels together, push your little toes down into the floor, stretching out through your inner thighs, out to your knees. Nice. Now, those who are holding on to opposite forearms, you can switch the cross. Okay, so do the awkward way. Nice. Now, if you have your forearms overhead, just lower your hands back down beside your body. Coming into your Shavasana by just bringing your knees together first. And from here, straightening your legs one by one as you find your final and most important pose for this afternoon, corpse pose. So taking as much space as you need here on the mat. So your feet about mat width distance, hands away from your body. Okay, just let your toes turn out sideways. Let your fingers curl naturally. Softly close your eyes. Okay, relaxing once again the space between your eyebrows. Relaxing your jaw. Okay, unshrug the shoulders. And just let your body be completely still, completely present. As you allow your body to absorb all the benefits from your practice. Okay, if you have more time at home to spare, again, I highly recommend you to stay a little bit longer in Shavasana, maybe for at least 2 to 5 minutes. Otherwise, start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring your legs together to touch. Stretch your arms overhead. Interlacing your fingers and flip your palms upwards. Point your toes and stretch like you just woke up. And on your exhale, release. Okay, bend both your knees. Roll over to your right side for a short while, okay, resting on your right upper arm. Okay, take your time, push yourself back up to any comfortable seat facing the front with your eyes still closed. Can either keep your hands on your knees or join me in Anjali Mudra with palms together to touch at your heart center. Bring the awareness back to your body and back to this present moment on your mat by blinking your eyes open very, very slowly. Namaste. Thank you everyone for watching today. Okay, so if you notice as the week progresses, we will be working on like more flowy stuff, more transitions. Okay, if you want to go back to basics, yeah, just rewind. Maybe look for many episodes before this, where it's a little bit probably slower. We'll work into a certain pose or a certain function, whether it's twisting or forward folding, and then you come back and let's try this class over again. Okay, have a great weekend ahead. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Bye.